everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Pokemon Trainer Eats and you're watching TCG Weekly Episode 3. So just really quickly, I'm going to take you through my statistics on TCG Online from this week, and then we'll jump straight onto Trading Card Game Online. I'll give you a quick analysis of the deck I've been using, and then we'll jump right into a game. So this week on TCGO, I've played a total of 17 games. Again, not the number I'd be hoping to play normally. Like I said, I want to play about 35 a week, but I've been a little busy this week, so I haven't had quite as much time to play TCGO as I would have liked. However, we've done better in terms of wins this week. I've won 10 of those games, and I have lost just 7. My main deck this week is my Toxic Infinity deck, which, in plain speak, is a Mega Mewtwo Garbodor deck. So it's very straightforward. Like I said, we'll jump into TCGO deck analysis in a minute, and I'll run you through the deck very, very quickly. My record with that is pretty decent this week. I've played 11 games with it, so that took up the bulk of my gameplay this week. I won 7 and I lost 4, so pretty much a 50-50 split. A couple of those games were tournament games, and one of my losses was the final of a tournament. I played a Mewtwo mirror match and got destroyed. But enough about that. My total versus points this week, I gained 110 versus points. That's because a couple of my wins were I got the 15 points because my opponent had the advantage, but I won, so I gained the extra points. I believe the versus ladder has now reset, so this time I will try and get to the end of it, but again, time. Time is always a factor in playing TCGO, so unless you've got time to sit in front of the computer for a long time, you're not going to complete the versus ladder. Anyway, I actually managed to play some tournaments this week. I played 2 of them. My results were 5th and 2nd. The 5th place tournament was with my Mega Glady deck. I drew pretty poorly and lost. The second place was with Mega Mewtwo. So the tournament rep that I gained from that was 11. If I can get more tournaments in, then I'll definitely hope to aim for higher, more than 11 rep. So that's pretty much it for my statistics for this week. So now we'll jump over to the deck manager on TCGO, and I can show you my Toxic Infinity deck list.
Okay, so I'm here with the deck manager, and let's dive right into a very quick analysis of my Toxic Infinity deck, which of course is my Mega Mewtwo deck. I'll just expand it here. Okay, so it's a very straightforward build of Mewtwo. I've gone for as standard a list as I can. Just wait for it to load there. Right, there we go. Okay, so Pokemon line, very straightforward. Got 2 Shaymin, 1 Hooper, 3 Mewtwo EX, 3 Mega Mewtwo EX, and then a 2-2 Garbodor line. So basically our aim is to set up Mega Mewtwo as quickly as we can. Psychic Infinity, 10 plus 30 more damage times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon, and of course it's not affected by weakness. So our aim is just to build up as many Mewtwo's as we can, as quickly as we can, so that we can just attack for massive damage, or at the very least consistent damage if our opponent doesn't have much on their side. The Hooper we're aiming to get with our first Ultra Ball of the game, in order to be able to get out our Mewtwo's and a Shaymin. My preferred combination with Hooper when I first use it is 2 Mewtwo's and a Shaymin. Or if I've started with Mewtwo, then maybe a Mega Mewtwo and a Shaymin. I'll just vary it, but ideally I want to get a couple of Mewtwo's down on the board immediately. 2-2 Garbodor speaks for itself, and 2 Shaymin is pretty well self-explanatory. So, if we look at the supporter cards now, again, I've got a very, very straightforward line here. We've got 2 Lysander, just a way to bring up my opponent's Pokemon, 2 N, 1 Pokemon Center Lady, just so that Mewtwo can tank for a bit longer and survive an extra turn, 3 Professor Sycamore, that's about as standard as you can get, 1 Skylar. This was a later addition to the deck when I originally built it. Sometimes on the first turn you just need that Ultra Ball, or you just need that Mewtwo Spirit Link, and Skylar is just a perfect way to get hold of those, so that's why Skylar is in the deck, and that's actually it for supporters. I just run the 5 of them, the 5 different ones, and then the numbers, obviously, it's like 3 Professor Sycamore, 2 N, and so on and so forth. Our item cards, again, I've gone pretty well as standard as you can expect. 3 Mega Turbo to rescue our Psychic Energy from the discard pile to attach to Mega Mewtwo. 1 Super Rod, just in case we need to shuffle any Pokemon back in the deck. 4 Trainer's Mail and 4 Ultra Ball. Again, about as standard as you can get. This list has gone for maximum consistency rather than flashy text. 4 VS Seeker. 2 Parallel City, and this is to counter things such as Rayquaza, Rainbow Road, Xenaeus, and anything else that really uses and abuses Skyfield. Plus it's a good way to discard any unwanted Shamans and Hoopers from my own bench. And then 3 Shrine of Memories can allow me to use damage change should I wish to. And then the final 2 trainer cards we have in the deck, again, about as standard as you could expect. We've got 3 Floatstone and 3 Mewtwo Spirit Link. I upped the count of Floatstone because I was finding that sometimes if one Floatstone was prized, then getting the other one out was almost an impossibility. So that's why, because originally I had 2 Floatstone and 4 Spirit Link, but then I decided to just go with a 3-3 split. And the energy in the deck, we just got 7 Psychic and 4 double colourless. Runs quite smoothly. I've had a decent week, as you've heard, on TCGO, so that's the deck. And I think we'll be looking to get into a game with the deck in just a moment. Okay then, so let's head over to the versus mode, and we'll dive right into a game with Mega Mewtwo. So, we need to change over to the standard format. I'll go right to the end, Toxic Infinity, we'll hit play, and away we go. Okay, so we're going up against... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Okay, so he's playing Psychic, Grass, Steel and Colourless, so I'm not quite sure what that'll be yet. Guess we'll wait and see. So my opponent's calling the coin flip. And we won the coin flip, so we're gonna go first. Always best to go first. I once learnt the hard way about choosing to go second. That's a nice hand. I like that hand. Plenty that we can work with there. Okay, so we're going to start with our Mewtwo. Yup, there's plenty we can work with here. Plenty of stuff. We've got the Ultra Ball, we've got the Skylar to get the Spirit Link. This is great. Okay, so we're going to start off straight away with the Skylar. And we're going to grab ourselves a Mewtwo Spirit Link. All 3 are in the deck. Let's just have a quick shifty at the Pokemon. Yep, Hooper's in the deck. Excellent. There is only 4 Psychic Energy in the deck, though, so we've prized 3 Psychic Energy. Interesting to note. Which means we absolutely cannot throw away any energy. Okay, so there's the Mewtwo Spirit Link. We're going to play Ultra Ball. I'm going to get rid of the Parallel City and the N, because I don't see myself needing either of those right now. Then we're going to use the Ultra Ball to grab the Hooper. Now we're going to play the Hooper. And we'll use Scoundrel Ring to search for 3 Pokemon EX. And we'll grab Mewtwo, Mewtwo, and Shaman. There we go. So grab those 3. I'll bench the 2 Mewtwo's and then we'll be able to use Shaman to set up for 3. I don't intend to play the Professor Sycamore this turn because we've got the Mega Mewtwo in hand and the Mega Turbo. Not that we've got any energy in the discard pile, but we'll draw 3 cards. It's definitely better than nothing. We'll draw into another Mewtwo Spirit Link, which is great. So we'll get that on that Mewtwo. Then we're going to play Trubbish down onto the bench. And then we're just going to pass there. But we couldn't play the Professor Sycamore anyway, could we? Because we played Skylar, so that's fine. We're in a reasonable position for next turn. I mean, we only need to hit the double colourless to start using Psychic Infinity, so that's not too bad. So my opponent's playing a Level Ball. I decided to hold on to my Stadium just in case my opponent plays a Stadium down. Stadium Wars are crucial things in the Pokemon TCG these days. Right, so there's a Cosmog. So we may be looking at Solgaleo GX in this deck. Oh no, sorry, Lunala. Get it right, Neats, get it right. Ah, a Lysander from my opponent there, from the Trainer's Mail. You'll have to forgive me, I'm still not terribly familiar with the Sun and Moon cards. I did open my Sun and Moon booster box today, actually. the fact that the box is mapped and is so predictable did take a little bit of the fun out of it, but I pulled some decent stuff. I pulled 6 Hollows and 6 GXs, 2 of which were full arts. I got a full art Tauros and a full art Gumshoes GX. We just see a Shaman from my opponent there. Using setup. VS Seeker from my opponent to grab the Lysander. We're going to see the Lysander. What's going to be Lysandered up? The Hooper. Okay, so that means we need to try and find a Floatstone. Right, so we'll evolve to Mega Mewtwo. And then I think we'll play down the Shrine, because at the moment my opponent is showing no signs of playing Stadiums. Parallel City I don't feel will be much use in this matchup, so we'll get rid of that. We've drawn an energy. 3 Ultra Ball. Ouch. Yeah, there's not a lot I can do with that, blimey. I think the most I can do is just attach energy to Mega Mewtwo and pass. I mean, our board's not too bad. We've got 2 Mega Mewtwo's and a Mewtwo EX in play. We've got Trubbish on the bench. What's the point? I could have got Garbodor. Okay, we'll get that. We'll get that next turn. We'll Ultra Ball and discard 2 more Ultra Balls. So we've seen the Evolution Cosmo for my opponent. See, my opponent just passes there. So, right, we're going to Ultra Ball and get rid of Ultra Ball and Ultra Ball because we really don't need those. We're going to grab Garbodor. And then we'll evolve the Trubbish to Garbodor. Trainer's Mail. Now we need to hit one of our Floatstones here, ideally. We didn't get it, but we did get the Mega Mewtwo. Sorry, Mega Mewtwo. We did get the Mewtwo Spirit Link, I should say. So we'll take this, we'll attach it to the Mewtwo on the bench. It's still useful because I'm just going to use VS Seeker for Professor Sycamore here. So we'll grab Professor Sycamore. Because Pokemon Center Lady, we don't really need that right now, so we can just get rid of that. So I'll play Professor Sycamore, get a fresh hand of 7. Please give me a Floatstone. Yes, we got a Floatstone. Excellent. And we've also got a second Psychic Energy that we can attach to our Mega Mewtwo. So I'll attach Floatstone to Hooper. We'll retreat for Mega Mewtwo. And we'll just use Psychic Infinity, which won't knock the Shaman out, only does 70. So my opponent draws for turn. Fermantis changes into Lurantis GX. A 3rd energy on Cosmoem. Yes, it is Cosmoem. We see Professor Sycamore from my opponent. Drawing a fresh hand of 7. And the evolution into Luna. Oh, it is Solgaleo. I was right the first time. Ignore me getting it wrong. I'll know soon enough. Okay, so the Solgaleo is now active. So how much damage is that going to do? 230? Oh. Sunsteel Strike, 230, discard all energy from this Pokemon. Right, okay then. Well, we can still attack with a double colourless energy, that's for sure. So we'll promote Hooper. Ah, we've drawn into DC right there. Okay then. Now, do I have a Lysander in the discard pile? I don't know if I do or not. No, I don't. Okay. Right, so we'll attach double colourless here. Do I bench another Trubbish? No, I don't think I will. Do I have an N in the discard pile? I think I've only got Professor Sycamore. Yeah, I've only got Professor Sycamore. Okay, so we'll retreat the Hooper for Mega Mewtwo. I believe my opponent has Psychic Resistance. Indeed, my opponent does. Okay, so we'll use Psychic Infinity. 70. Or 50, if you take off the resistance. So, I wonder how my opponent is then going to get the energy back. Well, I suppose with the GX attack on that Solgaleo. It's pretty decent maths, that, actually. Use the GX attack to get the energy back on board, so you hit him for 230 twice again. That's pretty decent. Now, what does that ability do? Once during your turn, you may switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. So a free switch as well, that's not bad. And we see another Solgaleo GX. Wonder if my opponent's got Rare Candy in hand. We see a trainer's mail from my opponent. So it just kind of goes to show in this new format, anything is really possible. I mean, these GX Pokemon are pretty impressive. I mean, if you've got a Pokemon that can one-shot a Mega Mewtwo that's got no damage on it, that's crazy. So that's Lurantis GX with an energy on it. Okay, there's a switch from my opponent. And a Professor Sycamore. What's the first one do? Flower Supply. Attach 2 basic energy cards from your discard party Pokemon any way you like. That's a nice combo, Lurantis, with Solgaleo. That is a very nice combination indeed. Because then you use the Lurantis to accelerate your energy again. Yeah, that's nice. I wonder how many times you'd need to do that, though. But then that attack only needs 3 energy to attack. So I'm going to get one-shotted anyway, aren't I, really? Okay, so at the moment we're currently doing 100 damage. So Mega Turboing onto the active is not going to do that much good. I wonder if maybe I might be able to Lysander that up, actually. Hang on, I haven't got Lysander in the discard pile. I don't think. Sure, I had this conversation last turn. Yeah, there's only a Professor Sycamore in there. Okay, we're gonna have to play the Professor Sycamore. I can't sit here with a hand like this for much longer. Okay, so we have actually drawn into another double colourless. Right, let's do the maths. So 10, 40, 70, 100. 130, 160, 100. Yeah, we're not going to do enough. Even if we attach that double colourless, we're not doing enough. So I'll attach the Psychic to the next Mega Mewtwo, just to be ready for it. Trainer's Mail gets us nothing. But to be honest, I think we've used all our Ultra Ball anyway, actually. Yeah, all 4 Ultra Ball are in the discard pile. We've used 2 of our 3 Mega Turbos, 2 of our 4 Trainer's Mail. Oh, my opponent concedes. But my opponent had the upper hand. Well, okay then. That's fair enough. It's a win, anyway. We did manage to get some attacks off. We didn't get any one-hit attacks off, but that was a decent game nonetheless. We got the win. We got set up. That should have been the other way round. We got set up pretty neatly. We managed to get the turn 1 Hooper, the Shaman, the Mewtwo's. So I'd say we built up pretty well there. And then, yeah, so basically I think the only thing you have to watch out for with Mewtwo is that later in the game you have energy to go on your remaining Mewtwo's. And certainly if something like a Solgaleo can do that much damage that quickly, then we really kind of need to watch out. I mean, maybe you can splash in as a Taurus GX, I don't know. But even that get one-shotted by Solgaleo. But that Lurantis Solgaleo deck is a nice build. Might have to try that one myself. But anyway, so that was my week on TCGO. That was my Toxic Infinity deck. It was a reasonable game. So that's all good. You can get in touch with me in a couple of ways. If you'd like to, you can get me on email. That's PokemonTrainerNeats@hotmail.com. I'm also on Twitter @PokemonTrainerNeats. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button for me. Likewise, if this is your first time to the channel, please do subscribe. I do upload regular videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all soon.